So this chart is the psychrometric chart overlaid with the VPD chart, essentially. And so what the psychrometric chart does is it essentially gives us our dew point temperature at varying conditions, at varying temperatures and relative humidities. That dew point temperature is the temperature at which water condenses from vapor into liquid, and so we can drain it out of the facility in a condensation-based dehumidification system, right? What's interesting about this is that the lower the dew point temperature, generally, the less effective our heat exchange equipment is going to be at removing moisture from the air. And if you look at this chart, we've got these 2 points identified: your targets for LED and your targets for HID lighting. We can stay in the same vapor pressure deficit, but go to a much higher temperature or a much higher humidity set point, which means that the equipment that we're using to remove sensible and latent heat from the room is going to perform a lot more efficiently than it does at the lower set.
Yeah, and so when you're asking equipment to work at a lower dew point, you may be having to make equipment bigger or have that equipment harder, correct?
That's correct. And I think we may have a chart that kind of shows a little bit of that.
We will. Yeah,
but
we'll go into that table.
Yeah, and
but
go ahead.
Go ahead, Keith.
I was going to add one thing. One of the things that is interesting about the vapor pressure deficit is it is actually the driving force for this change of liquid to vapor. When that vapor pressure deficit is small, it's harder to actually change state. When it's large, it changes state much more readily. So the vapor pressure is a really good term for the cultivators to understand. But what we have to then apply it to is these 2 points that saying, I've got the same driving force. I have 2 different conditions that have different sizing requirements and energy requirements on the HVAC equipment. It is this tie-in together that is just absolutely the key point in getting the best energy efficiency out of your facility.